So irtec is all about raising the standard for competent technicians across the industry, where everyone knows within the industry there is no mandatory qualifications that people have to have. So this is a way into those, the sector, to raise the standard of existing technicians that are currently doing the job as well. So what is irtec? It is independent, validates the competence of technicians working towards commercial vehicle, trailer and passenger carrying vehicles. So it's across the whole sector within the industry. And it's valid for 5 years in most cases, all apart from the electric vehicle one, which I'll go into in a second as well. Its renewable scheme assesses safety and competence, and it really is about that safety and competence levels across the board. So currently there are 5 different levels of irtec, and irtec, I don't know if any of you know, but Institute of Road Transport Engineers certification. So the service maintenance technician, I'll go into these in a second, inspection technician, advanced technician, master tech, and then large electric vehicle, which is high voltage isolation, reinstatement and safety, focusing majorly on the safety side. So the first of those levels, the service maintenance technician. There is a minimum entry requirement for each of the irtec levels. For this one, it's 2 years, or industry experience, qualifications as well. The thing about the irtec is it's proving current competence. Okay, so I may have done my qualifications quite a few years ago, 40 years ago. Doesn't mean to say I'm currently competent to work on existing vehicles now. But this will do that. So, and it assesses, goes into all of those areas and highlights all of those areas for those assessment processes. So really based around that maintenance side of things. Then there's inspection technician. Now this is the one that the majority have been through recently. But minimum entrance is 3 years in the experience in the industry, with at least, say, or equivalent, MVQ3 or equivalent with 1 year post that experience as well. This is the one that traffic commissioners and such like are looking at quite favourably if the industry has completed those. There are, as with all of them, there's underpinning knowledge tests as well as the practical side. None of these are just theoretical tasks, they're all backed up, practical and knowledge. Then advanced technician. Now the next two, advanced and master tech, go into more of the, still hitting the main areas on this one, the advanced tech, but into tasks that are slightly more detailed, slightly more diagnostic in their view. When we go on to the master technician one, it goes into some other things on there and looks at emissions, computer test equipment, instructional support and effective communication. I think we all know one of the main requirements of master techs is being able to explain things through, being able to receive that information and be able to let others know those processes as well, and share their experience as well. I think that's really important in today's industry. And then the last one currently, which is the electric vehicle one. Obviously gaining quite a lot of momentum now in the industry as the industry develops, and dealing with the high voltage side of things in the main. Again, both practical and theoretical tests within it as well. There is a minimum entry requirement of 3 years for that one as well. So irtec has been going quite a few years now. There are currently 16,000 active irtec license holders across the disciplines, the 5 routes. 250 active irtec assessors covering the country, and nearly 4,000 licenses completed last year. So that quite a few within the industry. There's still room for a lot of expansion on that, and obviously, you know, being safety critical in a lot of these areas, the more we can get through, the better. But it is quite a focus of, how many people are doing it. Lots of companies have invested quite heavily to do this. Now, this is the benefits. Now, in a second, I'll go into one of the interviews I did with one of the employers on the benefits. But this is the benefits of that. So, improve customer confidence, vehicle safety, give competitive advantage, and identify training needs. So, from an employer, they're all quite important. And I think, to be honest, one of the most important is that bottom one, to identify training needs. So most of the irtecs that are done are purely the assessment. There's no training involved. It's not a training course, the irtec. It's an assessment for a level. Okay. Now, a lot of places do training before that if you need it, or it might be once completed, they need training to bring them up to those levels before they can do it again. But it is a way of identifying those training needs within that employer. From the technician point of view, they demonstrate commitment to CPD. Some technicians, it's quite difficult to gather CPD. So validate their current skills, recognition of knowledge and expertise, and eligibility to apply for a Halfords trade card as well, which is quite good actually. I use it quite a lot. So there's a lot of benefits from the employer and technician side. When spoken with a few of the employers, this was one I dealt with lately. This is a guy called Ian Challoner who works in is fleet engineer at Salisbury Reds and Swindon Bus. The whole Go Safe Coast has put lots through, and Steve was kind enough to share some of his views with us, and they were quite interesting. If they have applicants for vacancies, it indicates the current level within the industry. Confidence that existing technicians have a minimum level of competence. So this is, again, protecting them as the employer to say where those technicians are, what level they are. Current competence is the next bit that he mentioned as well. Again, there's technicians with 40 years ago. Does that mean I'm capable to work on the latest current Mercedes or other vehicles that are in here now? It is an assessment. It's not a training course. It doesn't demand 4 or 5 days out of the workshops to do. So it's short and sharp. The inspection one is probably half a day. Obviously, if they're up to the level of competence to do it. If not, maybe a few days training to get there. But that half a day proves to that employer that they have got to that level of competence needed, and can schedule training from this. So, from an employer's point of view, Ian is quite happy to do those with his technicians, existing technicians. Some of them had some interesting responses to us turning up, and people turning up to do assessments, and they didn't want to do it. They were worried about doing it. But very shortly after they started, they were put at ease, and he said, absolutely fine. Nobody at the end of the day really minded doing those assessments. So it's a good way of getting their skills recognised. And I think that was coming from the next bit, from an employee point of view. It was, to an awful lot of them, boosting their self-confidence. They know they're up to the same level as some of their colleagues who they've always thought were better than them. Equal standing to other industries. It is strange in a way that, if you work on your gas at home, or electrics at home, or aircraft industry, it's regulated quite highly. You need qualifications to do it, and officially you can't touch it. So it gives some kind of standing to that. We know it's not mandatory, but it makes them feel that it's they're working to that industry level. And knowing the company is investing in them. And Ian said that's quite one of the main things from his point of view as well. they're willing to invest in those employees. And if they're not at that level, it's not punishment for those guys if they don't achieve it. It's use it as a training plan. And same as most companies, we know that technicians are hard to come by these days, and have been for quite a few years now. So investing in current ones, making them feel part of the team, and getting them into that slightly better mode of they are competent and qualified to do what they're doing is fantastic from that side. They also go onto the irtec technicians directory as well, which is accessible to anyone, so anyone can see which people are who are registered technicians from that. Which again, Ian said, it's another tool for vacancies that they can use. Check to see if somebody is currently irtec qualified, and it will show the levels they're qualified to on there as well. Ian was quite an advocate for some of these programs. They're now looking at other programs within that to try and develop those skills even further, especially pushing the EV line. It's obviously a very new area for a lot of companies, and it probably will involve some upskilling for them before they actually do the irtec assessments. I don't think they're putting anyone in for them without doing the upskilling in those areas, but it gives them a good balance of who to do and what they can do with those. So what's next? From this point, it really is looking at assessment. There's lots of assessment centres around the country. IRTE, based in Greencoat Place in London, there's contact details for them there as well. They will openly give you details of nearest irtec centres, which ones they offer within that, and they'll explain the route through for you as well. Again, it may be that one or two of the routes are applicable. It may be that you just want to go for one of them and plan for the future, but it does give those technicians a bit of a stepping stone of what they can work up to, and sort of a route plan of where they need to be. Is there any questions on irtec at all from anybody? Yes, Will.
On the EV irtec,
yes,
you said they need a minimum of 3 years experience, but if it's they've just got the EV truck coming to the workshop, is it 3 years experience non-EV?
Non-EV. It's in the industry, so they're understanding that the systems and programs around it, they don't necessarily need to have had 3 years training or working with that EV system, otherwise none will get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I've got a second question.
Yeah.
This might be really hard. You said there's 16,000 irtec technicians.
Yes.
How many heavy vehicle technicians are there in the industry?
Offhand, I don't know. But I'm sure there are an awful lot more than that.
Maybe SOE things like that.
Yeah.
That's the poll.
It is.
16,000 might be
Yeah.
half the industry.
Yeah.
It might only be 10%.
Yeah. And it's raising the level of the industry, and we tend to get the good ones going for the accreditations. So it is trying to get everybody on board and trying to raise that standard nationally.
I wonder if there's a way we can find that out.
Yeah.
The problem is how many say they're technicians. I mean, if you're in the industry, you can see people who are literally no more than labourers, and then there are ones who are highly qualified.
Yeah.
A myriad of people in between. How do you classify them?
We do look at experience. All the centres will look at experience on registering. They can check that with employers and things as well. You would generally find out when they're doing the tasks if they're not. As you said, 3 years experience in the industry. My sister could effectively work as a truck mechanic. I wouldn't want to work as a truck mechanic, but that wouldn't really. Again, if she was employed by that company for 3 years, depends on what that role. They do have to specify roles on the application forms, but I think we've had nobody that has gone into that role and been underqualified. We might have looked and say you've only got a couple of years experience there, but you can tell when they're doing those assessments, it's that natural flow, it's that ability to understand and do that role that comes out straight away.
Is there pre-irtec training available?
There is pre-irtec training available from quite a few of the operating companies around that do it, and some employers are very competent or confident, I should say, of the level of their technicians, and feel they can just go into it. The irtec inspection being one definitely that an awful lot of people go straight in for. But some of the other some of the other levels, yes, as an employer you may think, well, we've had some experience in that, EV or Master Tech, but a few days training on that before would fit us a lot better and would ensure that the level, and it's that CPD, is the upskilling again to get to that end goal. So it's useful as well. So a lot of the centres do offer that, yes.